For me, in one of the areas that I know I felt so much imposter syndrome is when people say, oh no, I don't give my children store-bought puree. I make my own puree at home. I don't know what they serve in the store. Oh no, I don't give my children store-bought milk. Oh no, I don't do this. I wake up at night and I pray over my children. And then I'm like, are you even a mother, Sonia? Why can't you do all of this? Welcome back to my channel. I am Sonia Anidi, and in today's video I will be sharing how to deal with imposter syndrome. Live fully and enjoy the moment. Do not let imposter syndrome rob you the joy you are supposed to be enjoying for some odd reason. I will start first of all by defining what imposter syndrome means and why I felt like discussing this topic, my personal experience that led me to discussing this topic, how it affects mothers, how to go about it, and signs and symptoms that this is already affecting you, just in case you don't even know what is happening to you. And then I would like to know in the comment section what you think about it. Please do not forget to like, share, and subscribe so we keep growing this community of positive-minded mothers who are willing to do their best to have a peaceful and fulfilling lifestyle. Imposter syndrome is when an individual is constantly doubting their accomplishments or what they are capable of doing. It is like a psychological pattern. It's all in your head. It's not real, but then it feels real to you. You get what I mean? You are constantly doubting yourself. You are constantly feeling inadequate. You're feeling like a fraud in whatever role that you have found yourself in. And I mean, you found yourself there. You are meant to be there. But for some reason, you start feeling like you are not meant to be here, that you were a fraud, pretending to be someone else, and you live in this fear that one day someone's going to find out that you don't know what you're doing, or in the fear of one day you're going to be exposed. It's like when somebody's pretending to be somebody's wife and they live in that fear of one day this man is going to find out that I am not his wife. I sat down and I was reflecting how far I have come, and I realized when I came into this country, more or less from where I came from, you basically do everything with your spouse if you have one. Some people don't have spouse in this country, so they're single mothers. There are even men too that are left with their children. They're single fathers and all of that. So I constantly realized that you give more into staying with their kids, being present with them, doing more for them than it probably would be back home, where you probably have so many support systems. Grandma is at their beck and call, grandpa is at their beck and call, you have your nannies, you have people that can mind your child for you while you are doing something, and the presence might not necessarily be felt. So in that situation, moving from that zone to this zone, and I had to be constantly there for my children, and then having 3 children constantly pull at you and want your attention, it got me feeling like I was not being adequate, like I was not being effective, or I was not even deserving of that situation that I found myself. And I started feeling like I am just some nanny that is taking care of these children that is not even doing well, and one day the owner of these children is going to come and caution me and be mad at me for not doing my best. Like I was constantly living in the fear of, oh, I'm not doing it right, or one day they will grow up and tell me what I did or did not do right. You know what I mean? So that fear gripped me, had me down for a long time, until I came across a broadcast that was just talking about imposter syndrome, what it meant. And I also came across someone's YouTube where she was talking about how she felt like an imposter syndrome, constantly wanting more, seeking more, and all of that. I found out here, like, I am constantly from one step to another. I am jumping from one milestone. Oh, when is she going to get over this stage? Let's get into the next stage. All of that's got me thinking, oh, no, you can't do this to yourself. Take it easy, take a deep breath, and let it go. How does imposter syndrome affect us as mothers? Number one, there is this societal expectation of what motherhood should look like. If you're doing this, you're a good mom. If you're not doing this, you don't even deserve to have a child. And then if we find ourselves, looking at those ideologies that someone sat and set in their own high and mighty and felt, oh, this is the way mom should behave. Or if you don't show up in this place, you're not enough. You're not mother enough. If you don't do this for your child, not a good mother. If you do that for your child, you're the best mom. When we look at all of those societal expectation and we start living our life as though we are trying to live by those rules or play by those rules, it can bring us to that point. It can affect us. It can trigger that feeling of inadequacy in us, especially when we are not able to meet up. Or then even if we find ourselves somehow managing to meet up, it triggers that fraud feeling in us, imposter syndrome, because you're living by someone else's rule, you're living by someone else's expectation, not what truly matters to you. The next thing I think also that affects mother, or how imposter syndrome affects mothers, is comparison. When we find ourselves constantly comparing ourselves with other mothers, constantly comparing what we see on the social medias, we're like, see how she has this schedule that is working for her kids. They're in bed by 9, and I can't even get my children to sleep by this one. I can't get my children to sit down at the table and eat. Constantly going over it, scrolling down up and about whatever social media that interests you, and comparing your journey with some other mother's journey due to 1 minute video or 2 minutes video or 3 minutes video that she filmed out there. You are constantly going to feel like a fraud in your own home, with your own children, or in your own household. The next thing I feel how imposter syndrome affects us as mother is when we start having this feeling that we are not enough. We are not doing enough. We need to do more. We need to show up more. We need to do that. What, you took self-care break? Oh no, you're not a good mom. Constantly there is this way. It affects us. It makes us think we're not enough. If you find yourself in that situation, you're constantly wanting to do more. And I mean, technically you're doing your best. You are doing perfectly. You hear people around you say, oh no, stop stressing yourself over little things. You are doing amazing, but you cannot believe it. Because deep down in yourself, this imposter syndrome have you thinking that you are not enough. It has you wondering, oh, when am I going to do it right? How can I do it right? How will I make this work? What am I supposed to do? What can I do to make this better? So you have yourself in a circle, thinking about how you're not enough and how to be enough. No, you don't want that. The next way imposter syndrome affects us is the guilt and shame. You start feeling guilty. You start feeling, maybe you show up in a school activity, your child is not doing well, and you start blaming yourself. You're beating yourself up for so many things that is going wrong. Your child is sick, you beat yourself. Oh, it's because I don't do this that this other people is doing. It's because I'm not parenting them this way. It's because I'm not homeschooling. I put them in school on time because maybe you had to go to work. I put them in daycare. That's compounding guilt and shame. Imposter syndrome will make you doubt yourself to the point that you start guilt shaming yourself, guilt tripping yourself over what you feel you are not doing right for yourself and for your children. Then that brings us to physical symptoms. In nursing, they will say the signs and symptoms of imposter syndrome. It has affected you. Yeah, you're deep in that place. Like, how does it begin to show in yourself? You find out that self-doubt will begin to increase. You will have increased self-doubt because you're wallowing away, thinking about what you're not doing right, how you're not effective, comparing yourself with others, trying to give off societal expectation of what motherhood should look like or feel like or be like. You will have increased self-doubt. You would not even be able to do something on your own. You have an initiative you want to do, you're second guessing yourself. Is this right? Am I even doing this right thing? Or can this go with this? Can they eat this? You are constantly doubting yourself. Even when people around you are telling you, oh, Sonia, you're doing great. You're like, I wish. You don't know. You're just constantly complaining. Everything you have to say about yourself, negative. And this will now bring about the next thing, increased anxiety and stress. Because you're constantly doubting, your anxiety level high. Your stress level, it can not even begin to tell on your face. It can tell on your actions because you are not happy from within. It can just take away the peace that you're meant to have and enjoy the moments with your babies, grown, small, whatever situation you are. When this imposter syndrome thing kicks up on you, you find that you have increased stress level, increased anxiety. You start procrastinating things. You start avoiding things. When I mean procrastination and avoidance, you start avoiding those things that make you feel inadequate. You start avoiding that event. Maybe for the mom, their kids are already going to maybe some game or something. You start feeling like, oh, I need to see how this woman comes to pick up her child. I need to see how she shows up for her child. I'm not even going again. Then you probably start avoiding those situations. You're not being there for your children. Just because you feel like you're not looking the way you're supposed to look, or you're not doing it the way you're supposed to do it. Then you start avoiding things. You start procrastinating. Maybe you don't take your children out as much as you do because you're doubting yourself that you're not doing well in that area. And you deprive not only yourself but the children maybe of those events that triggers those self-inadequacy in you. So imposter syndrome can make us, resort to procrastination and avoidance. Another thing is that we'll start seeing the physical sign that goes from just the mind to our body. Now we start having constant headache because your mind is working 24/7. You know, if you've ever seen a generator, imagine running your generator for 24 hours over and over. It's going to break down. It's going to break down. So you start having headache. You find yourself, you're having headache. You're wondering, what's the cause of this headache? My sister, you are overthinking it. You are over-analyzing it. You are over-imagining. You are doing all sorts of things you shouldn't do to yourself because you think you are not where you're supposed to be, or you're not doing it the way you're supposed to do it. Then you start having insomnia, loss of sleep. It will take sleep away from you because you are drowning in self-doubt. Yeah, those are the things that, you know, the signs of imposter syndrome that we begin to see in ourselves: increased self-doubt, increased anxiety, increased stress, increased procrastination of things that we probably love to do before. Now, because we feel inadequate, we're avoiding those things. We are procrastinating to do them. If it's something we really have to do, we find ourselves procrastinating what we would have just done normally. We'll just and then we'll start having those physical symptoms I just mentioned: headache, insomnia, which will also affect us in the long run. How do we deal with it to enable us live fully and live in the moment? Number one, self-reflection. Acceptance. You have to accept that thought. You know, reframing your head. Accept it. Reflect on those things that make you feel inadequate. Reflect on, oh, maybe it's because I look at people dressed all cute and sound with their makeups, with these, and I feel like, oh, I look old and raggedy. For me, in one of the areas that I know I felt so much imposter syndrome is when people say, oh no, I don't give my children store-bought puree. I make my own puree at home. I don't know what they serve in the store. Oh no, I don't give my children store-bought milk. Oh no, I don't do this. I wake up at night and I pray over my children. And then I'm like, are you even a mother, Sonia? Why can't you do all of this? Life is different for everybody. Acknowledge, self-reflect. Bring those thoughts together that makes you doubt yourself. Bring them together and start reframing your mind. Reframing those negative thoughts. When those negative thoughts comes, change your mind and say no. When that thought of I cannot do it comes, say no, I will do it. When the thought of I don't know how to do it, reframe it with I will learn and I will do it better. You know, change your mindset. The next thing on how to deal with it is show yourself some compassion. Give yourself grace. I cannot emphasize as much as I can for showing yourself grace as a mother. And I will keep saying the same thing. There's no manual that works for everybody when it comes to parenting. Especially because we all have different children. Different need, medical need, physical need. Even in the same house, the children you have, they are different people, different personality. You yourself taking care of them, different personality. You can only do as much as you know, right? Or as much as you've been able to study, research, and now you are here trying to manage 3 different people. Oh my God, or 4 different people, or 1 person or 2 with so many personalities. Give yourself grace and acknowledge that you are doing enough. The next thing that will help you beat imposter syndrome is dare to do that thing that you know how to do the way you know how to do it. Yeah. Meaning focus on your strengths. Feed your strengths and starve your weaknesses. Yeah, I don't know how to juice or make homemade puree. I'm going to make sure my child feeds well on those store-bought one. I'm going to go for organic. I don't have that time to make puree. Yeah, thank you. I'm going to make sure they're feeding well. Are they feeding well adequately? Turn around. Just focus on your strengths and starve your weaknesses. It's going to go your way. And then always seek help. Like when you have good support system and this feeling of, not being enough, imposter syndrome keeps coming in, the thoughts, whatever it is that sponsors this imposter syndrome thing in you, seek support. Talk to, if it's beyond, maybe you're talking to your support system, family and friends that you have and you feel like it's not helping you, seek professional help. Yeah, therapy, whatever, seek professional help. Talk to somebody. Let someone help you develop strategies that can help you overcome that thought of not feeling adequate. Yeah, you heard me. It might cost you a little at some point, but my sister, protect your mental health at all costs. Do not let some imagination, some fragment of our thoughts hold you back from living fully and being effective and being compassionate. Then the one thing I'm not going to, close this video without telling you is prayer. I am a Christian and I believe that prayer works. pray about it. Pray about every single thing that sponsors that, thought and feeling in you. Commit it to God. Trust God and believe God. One of my favorite scriptures as a mom is, I can do all things through Christ that strengthens me. I can do all things through Christ that strengthens me. Also, when I probably feel like, oh, I've lost myself in motherhood, I'm not taking care of myself again, maybe I look at the mirror, I'm like, see the way I'm looking, this is not how I used to look like before I was married. I begin to tell myself, I am beautiful, I am fearfully made. Like, I find a word of God. It might just be a verse. I will just hold on to it. It might just be one word I remember. All things work together for good to them that love God, and I will hold it. Yes, I might not be effective, but I will do my best. I would research on that thing. I will try to learn and do better. Because sometimes, we might not be doing it right, and then the imposter syndrome thing kicks in and make you worse. But don't let it hold you back. Do what you can. Learn that thing. Make effort to learn. Grow yourself in that area. Pray about it. Commit it to God. Show yourself grace. Do the ones that you can do. Focus on your strengths, not on your weakness. And before you know it, embrace your imperfection. Embrace the fact that you're a human being. And no matter what you do, you can never be 100% perfect. You're still going to be wrong in somebody's eyes. No matter how you do it, you are not going to be Jesus. Just remember that and know that you are still an imperfect being. You're still a flesh. You're not omnipotent, omnipresent. You don't know it all. So you're still going to have episode of imperfection. Embrace it and work towards, bettering yourself and being a better person. So that way it can help you be effective. It can help you to be compassionate. Like, it can make you effective and compassionate. Like, increases your compassion as a mom, even as a wife. Because trust me, if you're not doing well, maybe you're feeling like you're not being a good mom. It's probably also going to affect your marriage or your relationship with your significant other. So just do not let imposter syndrome hold you down or hinder you from living fully and effectively. Just find all the ways that you can to embrace it. Turn your thoughts from negative to positivity and start seeing yourself in those situations you don't see yourself in. Start seeing yourself as a babe. If you're feeling like you've lost it, rethink it. I'm a babe. If you're feeling like, oh, I'm not doing enough, start seeing yourself like you're doing it enough. Change all those negative thoughts and keep saying positive things. Start making positive affirmation and believing in them yourself. It is one thing to say something, it's another thing to believe in it, it's another thing to act on it. So say it, believe in it, and act on it. And then you will see that you will overcome imposter syndrome. I know if you made it to this point in the video, you are like the best. Do let me know, have you felt imposter syndrome? Are you currently dealing with it? Is there a part of you that is feeling inadequate, insufficient, or you're constantly second doubting yourself in that area? If you do have those situations, are you able to deal with it? Have you found your ground, or are you still struggling with it? Do you think this video has helped you in any way, or do you have anything you think that can help other people? Please do comment in the comment section and let me know what you think. I love you and see you in my next video.